Hey everybody, and welcome to this special on Mercury transiting in Virgo. So this year, Mercury is in Virgo from the 23rd of September at 4:41 a.m. Then Mercury enters Libra on the 10th of October at 5:50 a.m. until the 29th of October at 5:08 p.m. when Mercury enters Scorpio. So yeah, Mercury's going to be in Virgo for about 3 weeks. So yeah, I'm going to do a deep dive. First, I'm going to talk about the practical, worldly, materialistic, political, spiritual and esoteric meanings of Mercury in Virgo. So when Mercury is in Virgo, it rules Virgo, also rules Gemini, so it feels at home here. Our communication and intellectual debates of thought patterns, rational thinking can be increased. From a holistic perspective, it wants us to be more analytical in our thinking, pay more attention to detail, become more sharper in our mind. It wants us to focus on organisation, productivity, and refining our skills, learning new things, upgrading our current skills. It's an ideal energy to plan, to problem solve, to deal with issues, whether it be legal or stuff like that. Things that really need us to think and go deep and research is the best use of this energy, and of course anything intellectual as well. And because our communication skills can sort of like receive a boost and increase, it allows us to be more articulate and get our thoughts and ideas across more clearly and to make informed decisions. For example, some of you may find yourself really doing well right now in tasks that really need your attention and precision, such as data analysis or problem solving. But on the flip side, critical thinking can sometimes lead to overthinking, and you're nitpicking, criticising yourself and others, and just getting too stuck in minutiae and small details. You may find yourself overly critical of yourself and others, and this can cause unnecessary stress and tension in relationships. So it's essential to strike a balance between paying attention to detail and being overly critical at this time to avoid potential conflicts. Practically, it wants us to do things that are, practical, to be organised, to work with our hands, dig up the weeds in the garden, rearrange your house, write a strategic life plan for the next 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 12 months, 12 months is a year, you know what I mean, like 5 years, 3 years, yeah? Really, 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 really good planning energy. We can really do well in scheduling and managing our daily tasks right now, and just streamlining our routines to focus on becoming more productive. So just making sure you're looking after your health and wellness and stuff as well, but I'll talk a bit more about that in a while. So yeah, for instance, we can use this energy to reorganise our workspace, our homes, as I said, to create detailed to-do lists, to stay on top of our commitments, get a to-do list daily planner, which is a godsend. I've got one of those. But you do have to watch out for becoming too focused on the minor details, as this can cause delays in decision making, and this can just lead you to being stuck and indecisive. So it's important to remember that paying attention to detail is necessary, it is essential, but perfection is never really attainable, and seeking perfection can get in the way of your overall productivity and wellness and happiness. In terms of politically, leaders, governments and stuff can focus on policies, regulations and administrative tasks. It wants us to take more accountability and find more practical solutions to society's problems, so it's a good energy to solve. Politicians may be more inclined to present detailed plans and strategies to address current challenges in their communities, in their nations, and this energy sort of like emphasizes the importance of precision and organisation in governing people and stuff like that. But on the negative side, politicians can get caught up in bureaucratic red tape or becoming overly critical of opposing parties and viewpoints, and this can lead to gridlock in decision-making processes that can, have consequences on those who they serve. So it's important to, find a balance between attention to detail and flexibility in policy making, and it's important to ensure effective and sustainable outcomes for, the greater good. And on a spiritual esoteric level, Mercury in Virgo wants us to engage in sort of like detailed spiritual practices such as shadow work, inner work, journaling or meditation. Any practices that go in depth requires you to think and, to increase your inner understanding and connection with your higher and lower selves. On the negative side, you can become overly critical of yourself or other people's spiritual sort of like practices and ideas right now, and this can make you get lost in self-doubt or judgment towards others' approaches, and this can just cause a lot of tension. So it's important to maintain a balance between being discerning, and compassionate, So yeah, it's essential to maintain a balance between, being discerning and having compassion at this time, so that you can sort of like start or continue to grow spiritually effectively. In terms of the personal psychological meanings, you can find yourself with increased mental clarity, and as I said, it's a great energy for organising and just thinking things through effectively, grounding yourself, looking after your psychological health, your physical hygiene, appearance, and your emotional and spiritual hygiene as well. But negatively, again, the self-doubt, the sort of like perfectionism, criticism can just lead to feelings of upset and imbalance. Just try and be gentle with yourself, be grounded, pay attention to detail, but make sure you love on yourself as well. And in terms of the social collective impact, we can find ourselves communicating more efficiently and paying attention to the finer, nuances, the subtle tones and body language in conversations, the words between words, practicing active listening and responding, and giving practical solutions to collective issues, especially in teamwork. It's a great energy to collaborate with others as well, especially in community projects and things that make your relationships healthy, friendships healthy and stuff like that. But negatively again, because we can sort of nitpick and be overly critical, we can have trouble with people who think differently. Then also people who think differently, then you can have problems with you. So just try and find the middle ground, assert your beliefs, respect other people's beliefs, but try to balance constructive criticism with open-mindedness, so you can maintain harmony on the social level. In terms of the symbolic creative meaning, it can inspire us to focus on practical solutions, precise communication, and be more meticulous, thoughtful, focus in our creativity. It wants us to express our ideas with more clarity and attention to detail, and just to sort of like refine our artistic and intellectual kind of expression, and sort of like we can also do some of our best work, and because Virgo, wants to get lost in those details, so this is good for all forms of creative writing. But negatively, getting lost in perfectionism, overly scrutinizing, and your creative work can sort of like get in the way of you being spontaneous and flowing with the creative and community vibe. So, just try and not be too lost in, minutiae and the details. On the emotional level, it can give us a sense of mental clarity and a desire for order and structure in our life. We can feel more inclined to analyse our emotions and thoughts with more of a critical eye and seek more of a logical sort of like explanations for our feelings, and this can lead to a deeper understanding of yourself and your emotional patterns. but there can also be a risk of becoming overly self-critical or judgmental at this time, which can create inattention and self-doubt. And it's important to practice self-compassion and balance, your analytical approach, rationalizing things with emotional empathy for yourself and others to maintain a healthy emotional state. So now I'm just going to talk about the overall positive and negative meanings and the best use of this energy. So positively it's great because it allows us to communicate more clearly and logically and more effectively and solve our problems more easier as well. It's great to work on detailed projects at this time and do research and write reports as well, as our ability to focus on the specifics can lead to increased productivity and success in tasks that demand accuracy. But negatively, Mercury in Virgo can manifest as over-analysing and being overly critical of ourselves and others, and we may just find ourselves getting too caught up in the minor details, as I said, and being perfectionistic and nitpicking. So we need to see the bigger picture and try not to focus on just the minor flaws, because this can cause problems with your thought processes and communication with others, and therefore your relationships and workflow and stuff like that. The best use of this energy is to strike a balance between paying attention to the broader detail, the bigger picture and understanding, organising your thoughts, refining your plans and focus on things that require your thoughtfulness, and avoid getting too bogged down in trivial matters or small details, as you may miss out on making the progress that you want at this time. So now I'm just going to talk about the aspects that Mercury is making this year when it enters Virgo, and what they add. So these aspects flavour the whole 3 weeks that Mercury's in Virgo this year. So first we've got Mercury making a square to Jupiter. So this can, make us more expressive and articulate, and again supports us in doing the things that we need to do, especially tasks that require innovative thinking as well, and it helps us with being more effective in our communication. We just need to watch out for over communicating, being overconfident, exaggeration in our speech and words, and this can lead to misunderstandings and interpretations of what is meant by what is being said. So just try and be as clear as possible. There's a trine between Mercury and Uranus, so this just again allows for more innovative, out of the box thinking, allows us to be more exciting and be more open to new ideas and perspectives. We can find ourselves more flexible to change and willing to experiment with unconventional methods or problem solving, and it can just spark our creativity and help us think outside the box, and this can lead to breakthroughs in various areas of our life. So Mercury also makes an opposition to Neptune, so this just reminds us to be cautious, because it can make us more confused, add to the miscommunications and misunderstandings as we struggle to see things clearly, and we can experience difficulty in expressing ourselves because of this energy. So it's important to practice being clear in your words and actions as well, because incomplete action information can cause problems. Mercury also makes a trine to Pluto, so this allows us to do deep, powerful self-reflection, can give us powerful insights, new information as we uncover hidden truths and dig deep into the depths of our psyche, and we can be more intense in our communication, and this can lead to more meaningful conversations or revelations. So it's a time to embrace change and release old patterns that no longer serve you, and allow for personal growth and empowerment. And so also Mercury makes a conjunction with the ascendant, so it can just make our words more impactful and influential. So we just have to be more careful of what we say, making sure we are saying things that we are prepared to, receive the consequences for. We can find ourselves more assertive in expressing our ideas and beliefs, and this can leave a lasting impression on others, and it allows us to be more flexible and find new ways of problem solving as well. This can, like, it supports us being more creative and having breakthroughs across all areas of our life. But Mercury makes an opposition to Neptune, so this can add to the communication challenges, and it can just make us make hasty, reckless decisions based on incomplete information. So gather your facts and think before you act and react. And so, yeah, and the Sun also makes a conjunction to Mercury as well. So this just allows us to be more sort of like self-expressive as well, brings kind of vitality, adds to the clarity in communication, allows us to be more confident, get our message across more clearly. So this is good. A lot of aspects allowing us to do that as well. It allows us to be more decisive and focused. So this is really good, and it just allows us to sort of like, make the changes we want to sort of like make and focus on our goals and be more motivated and have more ambition and be more creative and just be more effective in all that we do. So that's really good. Also, there's a grand Earth trine when Mercury goes into Virgo. So the grand Earth trine is made up of the Sun in Virgo, Pluto in retrograde, and Mercury in Virgo as well, and Uranus in Taurus. So this energy, again, it allows us to be more practical in our thinking. It brings the much needed grounding that we need. It also allows us to sort of like, understand complex matters as well, and to, be able to write and speak more effectively as well. But negatively, it adds to us being overly critical and fixated on details, be more obsessive in our thinking, and it can get sort of like stuck in analysing every little detail, and this can just slow us down and make us indecisive, and this would be a waste of this energy that can really push us on as we come towards the end of the year, the last 2 months now, help you get through those projects, those goals, and set yourself up in the best way for 2025 as well. It can also allow us to sort of like deliver presentations at work or online and get our points across to whoever we're giving our presentations to in sort of like a good manner as well. So it's just really good for really allowing us to put ourselves out there and engage whoever is listening to us as well. But it's important to strike a balance between being thorough and effective without getting lost in the details, and just allow yourself to use the innovative energy of Uranus and Taurus in this trine. Think outside of the box and expect and adapt, be flexible to unexpected changes that come up as well, and just allow yourself to increase, enhance your presentation skills and communication abilities as well, and stay grounded in the ways that you need to be grounded. So yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the karmic meanings and lessons and the type of past life memories, dreams, visions and insights that can come up when Mercury's in Virgo. So when Mercury's in Virgo, you may find yourself being more self-reflective, preparing to have time alone in solitude. It's a great energy to dig deep into past experiences and gain insights that can help you navigate your present needs and circumstances and problems with more wisdom and clarity. So in terms of karmic meanings and lessons revolve around attention to detail, intellect and communication. All experiences that you feel about or sort of like dream about can revolve around these main themes. You can find yourself wanting to express yourself more clearly and concisely, focusing on the finer points of your ideas and beliefs. In terms of past life memories that can surface, you may have dreams about past lives where you, for example, may have been a scribe or teacher in Egypt, meticulously recording important information for future generations, or just dreams where you may have misused your communication powers as well may come to your mind as well, or where other people may have controlled you via their communication and stuff like that as well. Anyway, whatever memories that come up, the themes will be around communication, intellect, and sort of like paying attention to detail. And these memories and insights can provide valuable lessons for your current life, encouraging you to pay attention to the way you communicate with others, and also, showing you the importance of paying attention to detail and being focused and precise in your work as well, and reflecting on these experiences that you have, these dreams, visions, or as I said, interactions with others, can reveal hidden talents or patterns that are influencing your present circumstances, helping you to sort of be more peaceful within and overcome your problems. And these insights can lead to a deeper understanding of your karmic journey and yourself, and just help you make more informed decisions moving forward as well. And it's important to stay in messages that come up at this time, especially on the karmic level, as they may hold the key to unlocking new potentials within yourself. So now I'm going to talk about how Mercury in Virgo affects your family, friendship, co-worker, committed, hookup and single and self-partnered relationships as well. So in terms of family relationships, it can help you improve your communication between family members by promoting understanding and empathy. For example, you may find it easier to express your thoughts and feelings to your parents or siblings during this time. But negatively, the critical nature of Virgo combined with Mercury's influence can lead to you over analysing, nitpicking, especially within your family dynamics. So it's important to be mindful of not being overly critical or perfectionistic at this time to avoid tension or misunderstandings within your family. In terms of friendships, it can kind of increase discussions and problem solving abilities among friends, and you may find yourself engaging in deeper conversations or offering practical advice and support to your friends better. However, there can be a risk of becoming too focused on minor details or being overly critical towards your friends' choices or actions. So it's important to strike a balance between offering constructive feedback and being overly nitpicky to maintain healthy friendships. In terms of co-worker relationships, it allows us to be more productive in the workplace and work together more harmoniously. It allows for clearer communication, paying attention to detail can lead to more efficient teamwork and successful outcomes in projects. But negatively, again, being overly critical or demanding towards co-workers can create or increase tension and conflict. So it's important to communicate feedback constructively and respectfully to create a positive work environment at this time. So in terms of committed couples, Mercury in Virgo supports honest and clear and practical communication within the relationship. It favours us discussing important matters, planning for the future together, and addressing any issues with taking a more rational approach. So on the flip side, there's a chance of getting caught up in minor disagreements or being overly critical of your partner's actions. So it's crucial to remember the importance of understanding and compromise to maintain a harmonious and loving relationship during this time. And in terms of hookup relationships, they can benefit from clear communication and attention to detail, and this can lead to satisfying encounters and mutual understanding. It can increase our ability to express desires and boundaries effectively, but there can also be a risk of over-analysing situations or being overly critical of the partner in hookup dynamics, which may create unnecessary tension or get in the way of spontaneity, So it's essential to balance rationality with emotional connection to ensure that you enjoy couple time at this time, or hookup time actually, So people who are single can have an increase in analytical thinking, finding clarity, and it can help you in your dating life by helping you to make more thoughtful decisions and communicate more effectively. you can find yourself in more sort of like in-depth, articulate, expressive conversations with potential partners, and this can lead to a better understanding and connection. Self-partnered people should use this to sort of like improve themselves and reflect, as I said a while ago, but it can lead to over-analysis and self-doubt and criticism. You may find yourself scrutinising your own actions too harshly, and this can cause more unnecessary stress or anxiety in the relationship with yourself. Therefore, it's crucial for both single individuals and those who are self-partnered to use the benefits of Mercury in Virgo by balancing their analytical skills with self-compassion. And by doing this, you can get the most out of this transit without getting caught up in self-doubt and perfectionism. So across all relationships, it's important to be mindful of not letting critical behaviour overshadow the connection, and just strive for more active listening and responding, and just create a more sort of like safe space and supportive sort of like environment, even if you are bringing up issues and hard subjects and topics to a partner or a loved one. Just try and be open-minded and assert your views on that, but allow others to do so as well, and respect your own and other people's boundaries. So now I'm going to talk about how Mercury in Virgo affects our career, personal, spiritual and educational development. In terms of career development, again, it can help us with our problem solving abilities. It encourages us to be more methodical and focused and efficient in our tasks, and this can lead to recognition because of our increased productivity. Can lead us to do more work, and we may get praised for doing so. We can do really well in tasks that require critical thinking, such as data analysis, research projects and quality control assessments as well. And it gives us the ability to communicate complex ideas clearly, and this can, as I said, get sort of like appreciation from your superiors and colleagues. But negatively, the overthinking and perfectionism can lead to you being critical on yourself and others, and this can cause tension and arguments, and so you're like, wow, you haven't done a good enough job, and the other person is, I've done my best, and you're like, wow, I can do better, sort of thing. Remember that each person has their own abilities and skills and personal bests and stuff as well, and don't allow unnecessary stress of being overly critical on yourself and others get in the way of progress as well. So it's important to find a balance between going for excellence and knowing when good is good enough to prevent burnout and arguments. In terms of personal growth, it allows us to organise our thoughts, set goals and improve our daily routines to increase our efficiency as well, because we can become more focused as well, and we can just have more of a desire for self-improvement and personal development, which is good. So, for example, some of you may feel sort of like motivated to declutter your physical space and adapt healthier habits that support your overall well-being, so sort of like a detox, drinking more water, getting more sleep, doing more exercise, eating more healthier. Or again, perfectionistic tendencies can get in the way, and self-criticism can lead to unrealistic expectations. So it's important to practice self-compassion and care and embrace progress over perfection to avoid feeling overwhelmed or discouraged by unattainable ideas. And remember that personal growth is a journey, and it's okay to make mistakes along the way as you continue to learn and grow from them. So it's important to embrace the process of self-improvement with patience and kindness towards yourself, and celebrate small victories and milestones along the way. And by focusing on progress rather than perfection, you're able to cultivate a sense of fulfillment and satisfaction in your personal growth journey during this transformative period that is brought by Mercury being in Virgo. In terms of spiritual development, as I said, it can make us be more analytical and practical. It can inspire us to dig deep into spiritual practices especially, meditation, self-reflection, yoga, and any other, Reiki or EFT, emotional freedom technique, or just anything, there's lots of practices out there. So whatever you're into, dig deep into it. This energy also allows us to be more disciplined and structured in our spiritual journey as well. But again, we just have to watch out for not being too perfectionistic and critical, because this can make us inflexible and judgmental, and we can sort of find ourselves having unrealistic standards for ourselves or comparing our journeys to others. And remember, each person's journey is unique. This is a note to myself as well as to whoever's listening. So it's important to be mindful of these tendencies and balance them with self-compassion and flexibility. And remember that spiritual development is a personal journey. As I said, there's no one size fits all approach, and it's unique. So, embrace the practical aspects of Mercury in Virgo, but also allow yourself to be creative, intuitive, and, accept where you're at. And by finding this balance, you can use the positive influence of this energy and, navigate the challenges that can come up as well. In terms of educational development, it allows us to study more effectively and approach learning with more of a practical mindset. We can find ourselves doing well in tasks that require critical thinking, organisation and analytical skills. This can lead to increased efficiency in grasping new concepts and mastering academic subjects. Negatively, it can again make us too overly critical, be too fixated on minor details, and this can overwhelm you and get in the way of you taking new information and studying, researching. If you're taking any tests, so just try and chill out, because the increased stress, anxiety and self-doubt can get in the way of your overall learning experience. And so it's important to be aware of these tendencies and strive for a balance between striving for excellence and practicing self-compassion. And by using the strengths of Mercury in Virgo, such as organisation and analytical thinking, you can do well and overcome mistakes and setbacks, have a more healthy perspective. When you do make mistakes, remember that mistakes and setbacks are part of life, and also your educational journey as well. And remember that education is not just about academic achievement, but also about personal growth and development. So now I'm just going to finish up by talking about the best activities for creatives, professionals, entrepreneurs, alternative healers, lovers, singles and self-partnered people to do when Mercury's in Virgo. So it's a perfect time for creatives to do things that stimulate their minds and be inspired by new ideas. Professionals should use this time to fine-tune your skills, organise your workspace and create detailed plans. Entrepreneurs can use this energy by revisiting their business strategies, refining processes and developing new marketing campaigns, and have more of a sharper eye for details. Alternative healers could focus on increasing their healing techniques, studying new techniques, offering workshops to share their knowledge. Lovers can use this period to have intimate and thoughtful conversations, plan romantic gestures that show attention to detail, or engage in activities that promote mental connection and understanding. Singles can benefit from joining analytical or educational events, exploring new hobbies that require precision, or writing about their thoughts and experiences to gain clarity. Self-partnered individuals can use this time to focus on self-improvement and routines that promote organisation, detailed goal setting and learning two techniques. So ultimately Mercury in Virgo allows us to be more intellectually stimulated, be more practical, and allows us to have more clarity and purpose if we allow it, and just really improve our communication and thoughts. It's good for inner and shadow work, because it allows us to get down to the details of our intricacies of our negative thought or behavioural relationship patterns and stuff like that. So I'm Amani, your holistic, karmic, astrological life coach, and that's the end. So see you next time.